everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. I am coming at you on a Sunday night. I've been working the rest of my afternoon trying to find more information for you, digging through a number of different online forums, talking to several people from the area, and trying to sort through what is going on in the world. Duggar. If you are under a rock, this morning, information started leaking. Actually, it was late last night that there was a raid on the Duggar property. Now, it is not confirmed that there was actually a raid. In fact, it's not really known what is going on, to be honest. There's information leaking that the FBI as well as local law enforcement are investigating a few of the Duggar men related to tax evasion, money laundering, human trafficking, and also related to potential child endangerment and child pornography. Josh Duggar seems to be the focal point of the investigation according to local sources. Now, we have obviously not been able to confirm anything with local law enforcement or with the FBI. I reached out to a source that had FBI connections, and they contacted their source at the FBI. It's kind of telephone here. But according to the FBI source that they spoke to, they gave nothing, no information, which wouldn't be actually uncommon in a situation like this, because in a case where they're investigating and there hasn't been an arrest yet, the FBI will generally not give any information out to the media or to the public prior to either a federal grand jury indictment, or the actual arrest of the individual. So sources that contacted the FBI says we got nothing. However, more people in the local area are starting to kind of weed through everything and peeking out and dropping notes and taking notice. A lot of people are starting to talk about how there has been some rumblings that Josh Duggar was caught with a minor girl, allegedly caught with a minor girl, that the case was opened after a report to the CPS was made, and then the FBI apparently was investigating him and allegedly could have found some images on his computer. There's so much in the air that we don't really know. I'll just show you some of the screenshots I have. I did speak to someone that has people on the ground there. They did check the Duggars' car dealership earlier today, and they did see someone that appeared to be a police officer or some sort of officer of something, dressed as like in gear, not in full gear, but it was clear that they were like, he called it a rent-a-cop is what it looked like. There's also been spottings of numerous cars at Josiah and Lauren's house. Jessa and Ben are apparently not home, and the Duggar van, which has most of the kids, has not been seen at the property, allegedly. After I did my first video, the Duggar family actually posted a photo on Instagram really fast. It was funny. And I don't know if they watch this. I can't say that they do. But the photo was from Amy's house, their cousin. But the photo appears to be old because the baby was not wearing the same clothing that Amy actually posted earlier today. So I'll show you everything. There's a lot going on here where I feel like there's some deflection or and Anna Duggar stuff is still turned off. So this was this is the first thing that I showed you. It said I wasn't told how old the minor was, but my sources said that if the minor was over 15 years old, then the FBI likely would not have gotten involved. I don't know why news outlets haven't picked anything up yet. I'm not comfortable disclosing anything about my source because they're all really involved, and I'm not sure that they're allowed to share that kind of information yet. And then this was the photo I'm talking to you about that the Duggar family shared almost immediately following the video I uploaded on YouTube. It says, "We loved spending time with little cousin Daxton King. It's hard to take turns when you're holding a baby that's so precious and cute. You're doing an incredible job as a new mommy, Amy. We can't wait to snuggle with sweet Dax again and watch him grow." So this photo, you can tell that Dax is little, and he has a gray outfit on with a hat. And that will matter to you in a few minutes. And then they were talking about why the FBI might be involved in this case, and says it's likely the FBI got involved because Josh had a lot of images and videos on his computer. They only get involved when someone is creating or distributing pornography that involves minors. They're unlikely to step in if there are reports of Josh molesting a child. The local PD and county court would just take care of it. Then someone who is local said, I know someone who works at a local news station, and he says that they got some tip-offs about the Duggars a few days ago, but they ignored them as it was random with no evidence. Since today's events, he says, they've been keeping track of all of the info, as it does seem to line up with the tip-off. I don't know, maybe this isn't helpful, but he's sure as shit is that it's about to hit the fan. And they asked him what were the tip-offs, and he said basically Josh had a minor being caught and all of that stuff. He says it was super vague, and they thought it was BS at the time. He says that they often get weird stuff about the Duggars sent to them. And then this source says, my source won't give up more information to protect their job, but I surmise that the CPS report created a chain of events that led the FBI to finding out about the images and videos on his computer. I might be wrong, just speculating based on what has happened. And then an update was that law enforcement was questioning members of the Duggar family. And then Amy was on her Instagram earlier today, and she uploaded a photo of her son. When someone asked her, is it true that the FBI raided Josh's house? Why did Anna turn off comments and delete a recent post? Jed turned off comments too. And she said, do I look like I would know any of these answers? And if I did, do you think I'd go blab their business? What kind of person do you think I am? I do not discuss my family or waste my time on stupid rumors. They are smart to turn off comments. Maybe I should too. So this was the photo of the Duggar home in Arkansas today. As you can note, there are not a lot of cars out in front. According to sources that are in the area, the house is usually filled with cars. It's not uncommon for them to have a lot of work trucks, so that ladder truck, they said, does not appear unusual. Individuals that analyzed the photos did note that their passenger van that they used to carry all of the kids was not parked there, likely meaning that they were not at home during this time. Now, this is another Google image of their home to show you what the cars will actually look like when the house is full. You can note there that on any given day, there's a ton of cars, which is far different than what you see today. Today, you only see a handful of cars, and then on any other day, it's like they are having a concert at their house. So, something's going on. Where there's smoke, there's fire sometimes, but I don't really know what it is. Amy Duggar was sharing photos on her Instagram. The baby was dressed in an avocado suit, which was different than the photo that Michelle Duggar shared. The photo with Michelle Duggar and the kids was weird because then shortly thereafter, Michelle shared a photo of them making pumpkin pies, and Amy's house has a black stove and it was on top of a white stove. It's so messy here. At this point, more and more locals are starting to come in. And then another person that went to school with Derek apparently said that the rumblings are that whatever is going on relates to financial issues, and that the Duggars might be finally getting caught for the fraud. There's been a lot of rumors over a lot of years that they have been laundering money or fraudulently obtaining money through their work with the Institute of Basic Life Principles. There's been a lot of speculation that some of these Medic Corps or different mission things that they use, they're not appropriately filing taxes. Another aspect that someone reported, or the blind, was that it could be related to taxes. Again, this is all alleged. I don't know. It seems that something's going on because Michelle Duggar is really the only one that's been posting. Other than that, like Jessa didn't post today, Jill hasn't posted today, Lauren and Josiah haven't posted in days, Kendra hasn't posted, Joe and Abby haven't posted in like 5 days, John and Abby. And apparently John David might be a part of this too, related to the financial issues. And Jim Bob may be a part of the financial money laundering tax stuff as well. So it's not clear how all of this fits together, how all of the minor stuff works with the FBI. I don't know why they would tie that all together with the FBI, but it could be related to alleged images that maybe Josh has. Obviously, unless there's like a news conference or something by either the FBI or local law enforcement, which would never happen on a Sunday anyway. They would typically do these like on a Monday or Tuesday. At this point, we don't know much, but we do know that the FBI has basically said that there's nothing to see here yet. Or they haven't, you know what I mean? They can't really say a whole lot. At this point, yes, nothing is confirmed. Everything is alleged. There's just a lot of, Anna's comments are still turned off. None of them are posting. It's just something's going on down there. And locals are noticing that things are going down. I have local people that are checking crazy. A local that reached out to me, they said that they have individuals that are on the ground that can check for cars. And the biggest thing is there's concern that maybe they are not at home because they can't be there because maybe the property is being searched. I don't know. It didn't look like there was a ton of cars there when I showed that photo, so it's hard to know if they're being searched or not at this point. The question was, do Josh and Anna live on the property? They do. They don't. I think they don't live in the main house, but they live in either a building or another home that's on the property. The property is extensive. If you noted, there's a lot of outbuildings. There's like parts for like business. They have, it almost appears like commercial type buildings that look like they're for trucking or construction or something. It could be part of their car businesses where they have like business, but they look like commercial buildings that are attached to the property as well. I don't know where they live on the property, but they apparently do live on the property. So this is just really messy. Locals in the area have speculated and thought for years that there's been some fraud going on here. Apparently people in the area are not super fond of the Duggars and have always thought that they've been up to something. And it's interesting that all of this would happen right now because the Duggars just returned to TLC's Counting On. Derek Dillard has been posting on Twitter about everything that's going on with the TLC contract not getting paid. And then there's this whole Jed's running for office. So I don't know how all of this fits together, but the Duggars being back on Counting On certainly put them in a position where they were much more physically present again, which had many fans really agitated that the Duggar adults were back, like mom and dad, Jim, Bob, and Michelle. And there's been a lot of speculation that Josh was going to eventually come back, which I hope to God that doesn't happen. So we'll see. Josh has a long history of issues. He's admitted to molesting his sisters and a babysitter. He also has had issues with infidelity and cheating on his wife, Anna. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that something like this could be true. The minor in this case is obviously not identified. There has been a child living with them that is not their child. It's Michelle's sister's granddaughter that apparently is staying with them and is Anna's helper. And she's 11. And which seems odd if she's basically Anna's mommy helper. She's having an 11-year-old work for them. And the child is apparently from out of state. So that could be another reason why the feds are involved. It's so hard to know. Anyway, all of this, again, has not been confirmed, but things are starting to look more and more like stuff is brewing. This could be very well the brewing storm that Derek Dillard was talking about last week. All right, you guys, I'm going to keep up with everything as soon as I can. I did reach out to, I've reached out and tipped off a few other media sites to see if they can do some digging as well, who have more resources. So expect if there's anything going on, other outlets might start reporting this shortly. We're hoping that by getting it to mainstream outlets, maybe they can do some digging locally to figure out what's going on, maybe get people on the ground to figure out what's going on. At this point, everything at this is rumor, but the smoke is getting thicker. All right, you guys, I'll continue to keep you posted. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe this is some wild conspiracy, but it's starting to seem more and more real. I'll be back later with more. Bye, guys.